it's gonna be all over. It's not gonna come out. It's not coming out because remember the tiny.
This is on who cleans it.
No, I'm not.
It's gonna happen in the middle of the video.
Bro,
I'm gonna do it.
I got the glitter.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back. The Serie A is back. We're so happy, Mike.
We are.
What a weekend we had.
It was an amazing weekend. Teams have 3 points, teams have 1 point, and some teams have no points right there. Let's get started.
Yes, so fantastic weekend, and it started off with such a banger. We'll start with the Saturday games, and I guess we'll go to Verona against Napoli, 3-1 in favor of Napoli, proving why they are going to be so vital in this league. I mean, when Napoli play, they really play. Verona, not great. They didn't even start with Gianpaolo Pazzini in this match. Started off really bad for them. Their Serie A campaign, own goal from Suprayan. I don't know what the keeper was doing. Such a terrible job from the keeper, who started off really good and then slowly dipped and had a terrible game.
It hit Suprayan right in the shin. He didn't react at all, and it hit him. And for the Pazzini thing, actually, the coach was a little mad at him, and he was saying, I'll do it every time as long as he learned his lesson. So he brought him in. And Pazzini did end up scoring to a penalty and almost scored a second goal. Well, that was close.
If you realized, Pazzini actually, after he scored the penalty in this match, he threw the ball and he pointed towards the coach. Yeah. And you know what? I'm Team Pazzini in this one, just because he scored the goal and he's such a good player. And you got to keep Pazzini in. And Cerci was an absolute disaster in this match.
Well, he didn't get any service.
He was terrible, bro. Cerci's not the player that needs service. He's a player that needs to get the ball and give service to the other players. But I mean, Lorenzo Insigne, proving what a beast he's going to be. This could be Lorenzo Insigne's season. World Cup year is coming up. It could be so vital for him, being Italy's number 10, maybe Napoli's new number 10 in the future. The weight of it is on his shoulders, and I mean, he stepped up magnificently. That second assist to Milik was just pure beauty.
That counter-attack was amazing. I think it came from a Verona corner. Insigne just broke amazing and did like an outside foot curling pass straight to Milik. Milik on the half volley ripped it bottom left corner. It was amazing.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what kind of leader Lorenzo Insigne becomes for Napoli. Milik, like you said, congrats to him. I mean, coming back from an injury, starting the game, even though we thought Mertens was gonna. Thanks, Sadi, for winning my fantasy league. But yeah, Milik, I mean, the confidence that you need to score this, it's so fantastic. Coming back from a tough injury, I'm so happy for him because he's a young kid. He did so good starting in the Serie A, hit with that bad injury, and now starting the game, Sadi gave confidence in him, and he brought it back to Sadi by scoring. So just a fantastic job. And you know, it was a good day for Napoli because Gulam ended up scoring. The last 10 to 15 minutes were bad for Napoli. They conceded a lot and risked a lot. And even Verona might have scored again after they scored the first goal. But I mean, if Napoli play like we know they can play, they are such a strong team and could really push for that Scudetto. Like we already talked about in our preview, they just need to see. We need to see if Sadi's men can win dirty throughout the season. The next game we'll go to, talking about winning dirty, Atalanta against Roma. Goal from Kolarov underneath the wall. But man, Atalanta were killing it this game.
I don't think Roma deserved the win here. I agree. It could have easily became a draw, and I think that's what it should have been. Atalanta were really pressing, and Roma did not look creative at all. Very sloppy in the back.
Slow. Looked like a preseason team. Just
in general, Manolas didn't even have a good half there.
If Michael says that Manolas didn't have a good half, then you know he really didn't have a good game. Papu Gomez was an absolute baller this game. I mean, he did everything for Atalanta. And Atalanta, who lost a lot of crucial players in this team, Gasperini's men, they have to play on 3 fronts, starting out in their own stadium. And man, they really started good. Again, Papu Gomez, I feel like Roma should have tried harder to sign him instead of going for Mars, because he's such a beast. And Atalanta didn't look that bad. Considering how many players they've lost, the team didn't look bad. Again, we know that their hardship is really going to come when they do have to play on the European front, the Coppa Italia and the Serie A. And I think that Roma, it's a sign of a good team. They didn't play good at all. Kolarov was good. The free kick was good. His first game back in the Serie A, and he scores a free kick. Picked up right where he left off. But from Roma, they didn't play good, but they won the game. And this is an important aspect of a good team. We talked about this a lot. Winning dirty. Winning when you can't, when you didn't have a great game. And I'm telling you, a lot of teams are going to drop points at Atalanta at home, and Roma picking up these points will mean more than just 3 points in the end of the day. And I don't think Di Francesco will be that mad, even though he did break a chair during the match. Because he knows how important it was to just get this win. Not great from Roma, but at the end of the day, get that win is what's best. Move on. There's a lot of competition. We score a lot of teams, score a lot of goals. But I think all in all, not too bad. And from Roma, they need to do better, but they'll keep moving on as the season progresses.
Yeah, Roma played well. Like, they always get those wins, even though they don't play good. Like you said,
not always.
For a lot of times, I think they did well last season. Not in performance-wise, but in points-wise. That's why I feel like that's what kept them in second place.
It was their highest scoring season ever last year.
Yeah.
So speaking about scoring a lot, Juventus against Cagliari is the next game we'll talk about. It was actually the first game of the season, and Buffon basically smacked VAR in the face. Was used on the first game of the season to give a penalty, which was really soft in my opinion on Alexandro.
It was kind of soft. I agree with that one. But that took so much time.
He milked it. He milked it.
The ball never lies at the end of the day. Buffon did end up saving it, and it was a bad penalty. But still, all credit goes to Buffon for reading that at the end of the day.
And listen, even more than just saving the penalty, he saved it when it was only 1-0 for Juventus after Mandzukic put them in the lead. And that's a crucial time. And right after Farias missed that, or Buffon saved Farias' penalty, the game was over for Cagliari. Cagliari looked like an absolute disaster of a team. Marco Borriello not on the team anymore. They should beg him to come back because they literally have zero besides him. But yeah, from Juventus, I think that Pjanic was the star of the night. He was so crucial, and I think it will go unnoticed what he did, because without Bonucci in this team, who was the playmaker, a lot of times bringing it from the back, Pjanic, every single time, Michael, he drops back, gets the ball, turns with space, and has the whole field in front of him, like Andrea Pirlo does. And that's the position that Pjanic needs to play in. That's a position that we never saw Pjanic do. And we saw it on that second goal, the ball from that Dybala scored, which wasn't a handball, by the way. That I know Michael disagrees a little bit, maybe. But yeah, I mean, Pjanic gave a sick ball. It reminded me so much of Andrea Pirlo. And this is the Pjanic we need to see, and I think this could finally be the season that Pjanic really breaks out, and the midfield of Juventus looks a lot better with Milan Pjanic. This Milan Pjanic in it.
I feel like you're hyping Pjanic a little bit too much.
I don't think so.
Hopefully as a season he does a good season, like what they needed last season. But it was against a small team.
True.
I want to see him do this like in the Champions League against bigger teams. So I'm not going to say anything about Pjanic. Just good game, but I'm not giving him too much credit.
But it's the idea. It's the idea, because he wasn't playing in that position, and him and Marchisio looked a lot better than Khedira does in a two-man midfield.
And Matuidi actually came in.
We saw Matuidi. He did come in too early to judge, because I don't think he played enough for me to give an evaluation. But they moved to a three-man midfield, which we see Allegri's actually thinking about now. And the three-man midfield works too. I just think that Khedira is overdone with Juventus. Marchisio is being linked to leave Juventus. He's not going to leave Juventus. I know I said the same thing about Bonucci. If Bonucci leaves, I leave. IFTV, I'm done.
Oh my God.
Marchisio, Pjanic, Matuidi, I think that this rotation, either a two-man midfield where Marchisio and Pjanic move the ball quickly and they move it very good together, or the opposite, a three-man midfield. I'm excited to see both. Also, shout out to Dybala, because he's looking more and more like a leader as every game goes by. Where's that number 10? He hit the post, he scored a goal, so important for his confidence, and the same thing for Gonzalo Higuain. He was pocketed all game by Andreoli, and then he gets one touch of the ball, literally, that one touch, moves it to the side, puts it in the back of the net like we've seen so many times, and it's just so important for two strikers, two of Juventus strikers, to both score on the first game. Confidence is key, the psychological aspect is key. All in all, great job by Juventus. Not perfect, but against the Cagliari, who's terrible, who I need to change my prediction of. And the only guy from Cagliari I like was 20-year-old Barella, who's actually pretty interesting in the midfield. But that's all I have to say.
Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Juve won, nothing glorious, but they got the 3 points. Move on to the next game.
3 goals. So Inter Fiorentina, where Inter kicked this off on a fantastic start. It did start off with VAR again. Mauro Icardi scored on the goal, scored the penalty. He got pulled down, and then it was given as a penalty. Spalletti did not even break a smile.
He didn't.
His face didn't crack.
Spalletti is a good coach, man. He's going to do some great things for Inter.
I agree with you. So yeah, VAR was used in that match, and then Icardi ended up scoring another beautiful goal. Great pass from Ivan Perisic. who had a stunning night, proving why Spalletti proved hard to keep Perisic.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe you and I were a little bit hard saying to sell him, but Perisic did fantastic. Icardi, great job on that goal, and then Perisic ended up getting his goal towards the end of the match, and Inter just looked so tactically organized under Luciano Spalletti, and they are undervalued. Underrated
and Skriniar, what a beast. His debut for Inter, and he was just doing with Miranda, right? He was a center back partner. He was just doing so well. That's going to be a great defense for them. Their fullbacks too didn't look that bad, but let's see against a better opposition.
Nakatomo almost had an assist, by the way.
Yeah, he actually did pretty well. Spalletti, like we said, he's a good coach. But I don't know, Fiorentina wasn't as good as they expected.
They suck.
I thought they can do better.
Don't say not as good as they expected. They suck. I feel like these players do not even know each other's names. That's how bad they are. And Fiorentina, terrible. Pioli's men looked like they had nothing going for them. Simeone was the only player that I thought looked pretty decent. He had hunger in him. And then Pioli ended up taking him out. Benassi was in the wrong position. I know they're missing some key players. Chiesa suspended and a few others, Badelli. But Fiorentina look absolutely terrible. I don't know half of these players. And back to Inter, Skriniar. I mean, when I watched him at Sampdoria's game, when we watched him live, I said, this kid is good. He's proving that he's good. The whole preseason he was good. Now his first game was good. Borja Valero, I love watching Borja Valero play. He runs the strings. Very good debut for him in a two-man midfield, which wasn't expected with Vecino. João Mario on the bench. João Mario ended up coming in. There's some disagreement whether he's going to play in a two-man midfield, but whatever. Spalletti will figure it out. He's got good players. They did a great job, and I think that shout out to Mauro Icardi, who I might need to change my prediction a little bit on Capo Canonieri, because if Spalletti could keep him looking as good as Icardi looks under him. I mean, Dzeko scored 29 goals under Spalletti. How many can Icardi score under Spalletti? Because Spalletti's team is so organized. Icardi looks disciplined. He's more mature. And I think he's just going to be an absolute beast. So Inter, a lot of positives in this match at home. First win. Another 3-0 though, Mike. Crotone against #Mike the Milan fans team. Kessie scored from the spot. Crotone, the 19-year-old, on his first start in the Serie A, scored his first Serie A debut goal. And it was a fantastic goal. Great cross, great movement to the front post. And then Suso ended up bagging in the back. And Milan just with ultimate confidence. A game which last year ended 1-1 against Crotone at home. Against, not Crotone. I mean, Milan just have confidence. They believe in themselves. And they know what they're doing.
It was just VAR also played a part in this. They got the first penalty for VAR, and they got subbed off. Who was it? Ceccherini, I think, got a red card in the beginning, and that's what I think really dictated the game. It was so early on. If you're gonna concede against Milan that early, a smaller team, it's gonna almost ruin the game. I don't think it was a red card, to be honest.
I think it was. He was last man. He stopped him who was on a good...
How you gonna ruin the game like that?
It did ruin the game. I agree with you that it ruined the game, but is it the referee who ruined the game, or is it the player who ruined the game?
I think it was a soft... It was pretty soft. He went down. It was Calhanoglu that went down, actually. I think he was a...
Was it? It was Crotone, no?
No, it was Calhanoglu that went down.
I think Calhanoglu gave the pass. Bro, you gotta know your team.
I'm pretty sure Shahan.
I don't know. Let us know.
Whatever. But yeah, he complained after he kicked the ball to see if it went in or not. That's the first sign that made it seem like, okay, this is a little fishy. They gave him the red card, and from then on, it was just Milan dominating. They scored all 3 goals in the first half. Second half, they didn't score any, but they could have been more. It could have been 4 or 5, but Corda's really saved them for sure.
And I don't think it will really matter because 3 goals is enough to get those 3 points. Great way for them to start their season. Dream debut for Crotone. Playing in Crotone, little tongue twister on there. Bonucci actually, first time as a captain in the Serie A for his team. I mean, that first pass that he gave, he actually initiated one of their goals. And I think we're just going to see Bonucci as the playmaker that we know he was at Juventus be such a vital point for this Milan side. He opens up the play. You start seeing the players already understand that Bonucci is going to send these balls. And Milan just... They look good, man. They look good.
Kessie, especially, was like my man of the match. He was doing amazing. This guy is a beast. He reminds me of Conte a little bit from Chelsea.
He's a beast.
He runs. He has like.
I told you. You. Come on. I admit that you didn't think he was gonna be that
I was a little skeptical.
He's a beast.
But Milan, he's so strong. Someone went shoulder to shoulder with him. The other guy flew. I gotta put that down somewhere. But yeah, just in general, he was playing defense, he was running back. That guy never stopped running.
We saw it with Atalanta, and he continues it with AC Milan. All right, now we'll just give you really quick on some of the other games that happened, some of the important games that happened. So Lazio against Spal. Somehow, Spal, in their first game back in Serie A for almost 50 years, pulled off a 0-0 draw with Lazio at the Stadio Olimpico. Judging from the highlights, both sides actually did have chances in this one. Lazio coming off such a great start to the season, winning the Supercoppa, not doing it against Spal. And I don't know, that's terrible from Lazio. I mean, you got to get this win against Spal early on.
But you got to give some credit. I saw the extended highlights on this. Spal actually played some pretty good defense, but then again, Lazio weren't that creative to really score at the end of the day. Spal's keeper, I forgot who he was. He's like, no, Lazio, not Lazio's keeper. Spal's keeper.
Oh, yeah,
this guy's
yeah,
like 23 years old. I forgot his name. Yeah, he's Italian. He was actually pretty good. A little shaky, but he saved a lot of the shots. But then again, it was just Lazio not being able to finish those chances.
Yeah, definitely like that. One of the key things to note is that the first woman medic in Serie A actually debuted in this game. So that's beautiful to see. That was one of the highlights of the game. And 2,000 Spal fans traveled to the Stadio Olimpico to see their team for the first time again in almost 50 years play in the Serie A. So congrats to any Spal fans watching. Bologna against Torino ended 1-1, where there was some crazy controversy in this one. But before the controversy, Di Francesco scored a sick goal. Go check those highlights out. We can't get copyrighted for that. Mirante did have a blunder after Jajic did a beautiful skill move, took a shot which could have been saved, but
should have been saved easily.
Yeah,
but
it
then
went through
again,
Mirante's hand.
I guess it's kind of even because the goal that was called off at the end of the day.
So yeah, there was this goal from Torino which was ruled offsides. They thought that a Torino man actually sent the ball in. Mihalovic was furious after the match, but it came off destro and the goal should have standed. So basically, it came off destro. The referee blew because he thought it was offsides, and Torino kept playing. They put the ball in the back of the net, and there was no way to go back and look at VAR because he already blew the whistle. So the referee screwed up. He should have let the game go play. Also, you're on 0% battery. How is your computer still on? In the last game that we'll talk about, Sampdoria against Benevento, 2-1 for the Blue Cerchiati. Great job by them. Quagliarella back 2 goals, which got him 110 total goals in the Serie A. So congrats to Fabio Quagliarella.
It was a comeback too. They conceded early on.
Cicciretti for Benevento scored the first ever Serie A goal for the club. And I'm telling you guys, this guy is going to be the new character of the Serie A. His tattoo on his neck, he looks like Rajanangwa.
A lot of people were saying, yeah, he does. He looks like his face is like, it doesn't belong on his body. Just because his face is so pale, and then just pasted on the body full of tattoos. It looks very strange. They showed him dancing in the locker room.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
So guys, our first review show of the Serie A is complete. The first match week of the Serie A is complete. I think it calls for a celebration right here.
Oh my
Holy
god.
that was so much louder than I expected.
Who's cleaning this up?
We'll get an assistant to clean this up. Oh my god, guys, it just ended right now. I think our neighbors are going to come down and think that a bomb went off over here.
Shotgun.
But yeah, let us know if you like this new format of the show. We bought too many. We got like 5 of these, so make sure you're always watching because we might just set these off randomly. But yeah, let us know if you like the new format of the show. We got confetti everywhere, and
what was the most important match of the week?
Let us know who's going to be Capo Canieri. Let us know down below, and we'll see you soon.
Ciao,
Hopefully
guys.
we get this completed. Ciao. Oh my god, this was crazy.
Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought.